Alright, hey, what's up guys? In today's video, we're going to be reviewing, well, this is going to be another Overwatch coaching video. But in today's video, we're going to be looking at a gold Reinhardt player. However, the interesting thing about it is that, this is our first PC player that we're going to coach. All the others have been on, I believe, just Xbox. So, yeah, let's hop right into it.
Justice will be done.
Alright, so rolling out with your comp, double sniper, it's a little bit risky. If you don't have, so, I know you can't really control this, but if you're in team chat, you can tell your, comp to kind of swap. The Ashe Hanzo isn't exactly the best here. Ashe is good if she has a mercy pocket. However, she's not exactly the best without a mercy pocket. Granted, this is like gold, so it doesn't really matter, but you know, a better comp here would have been like a Soldier May or something like that, but it's okay. AFK support. Ana Zen's questionable. Alright, so there, right, we didn't need to kind of just sit there and let the Ryan take that much space. We could have counter-charged him, just charge at the same time. He'll pin him. There's no reason not to. Because he's overextending. He initiates the push, right? So if you're counter-charging him and you counter-pin him, you'll both be on the ground, but he's going to be more overextended than you. So as long as the team focuses him, he dies and you don't. So always counter-charge Reinhardt. There's really no reason not to. There's very few times where you don't want to countercharge your Reinhardt. Alright, right here we're kind of just taking damage. We need to get our team up here. Good shatter block, very good shatter block. Yep, and now we're just charging in. Take all that space. Nice. Good attempt to block the stun. But alright, this was good. However, right now, you need, I don't know, of course I can't see the communication, but like, you need to be communicating to your team this first, right? But you need to be communicating with your team for them to drop at the same time. You should not be the one on point capping. You should be with your team pretty much at all times. So I try to, like, for example, you have a Ashe Sombra, like one of them could go down the shatter. Also, okay, so when you get this shatter, right, I'm gonna go back 20 seconds. So, when you get shatter, right, you don't always have to charge right after, especially when you hit a shatter going into their backlines. Because if you charge here, then your charge is going to send you into the backline. So right here, can I go back just a tad bit? Alright. Here, we hit a big shatter. However, we hit Lucio, who's back here. Whoop. Right. So we hit Lucio, we hit Reinhardt, we hit Mercy, and then Genji's off to the right somewhere just harassing, and then there's this McCree who we don't know is here, but we're gonna find out in just a second. However, we already know they have a McCree, right? We know that they pretty much have a full team here, so, like, we should anticipate that McCree is there anyways. And we shouldn't be charging this because McCree's just going to flash us, cancel the charge, and then we're going to die because Ryan's going to pop out of charge and he's just going to swing on you. So, after you shatter, it's not always necessary for you to charge. It's not always a good thing for you to charge. Here, the play would just be to swing and fire strike them on the ground. Like, that's typically the play, honestly. If you get a big, like, 5-man or something like that, you literally just swing and fire strike stuff. And you'll get insane value. That's all you need to do. Here, though, there's really no reason for us to be, There's no reason for us to charge, because we're going to charge in, then this McCree to the left is going to flash us, assuming he is remotely competent. And there we go, we get flash bangs. Or flash bangs, sorry. We got nano invested. So that Reinhardt there, we could have been a little bit big bomb. Alright, so we invested way too many ults there. So let's take a step back. So we invest Shatter, right? Then Ana invests Nano. Then your D.Va invests Bomb. And this fight is already won, right? We have 2 picks, we've backed them off, it's pointless to bomb here. Bomb's just overkill. We could have pushed in. We could have been a little bit more aggressive with the Nano, because you got Nano and you had like Reinhardt behind you, kind of just stuck there. You had like 300 to 400 HP with a Nano. So like, there's no reason to be pushing to spawn like this, and there's no reason to pop trans. It's a terrible transcendence. Yeah, now we have no counter ult for the ground. Okay, this is kind of just a cluster, but whatever. Alright, so there's no reason for us to pop that many ults just to hold them in spawn for a little bit, because now we have no ults whatsoever other than Bob, Nano's coming online, and EP. Like, you're getting your ults back, but you don't really have any good combos. The only good combo I can see is Bob Shatter. Bob, you know, knocks the Rhine up and Shatter. But right now, like, you have no ults and they should take this point. Should have point here. Yeah, if you're in team chat especially, which you should be, well, I mean, yeah, you should be in team chat. So, if you're in team chat, you need to be telling your team, though, to conserve their ults, because you just burned 4 ults for absolutely no reason. You only needed 2 to win that one team fight in the hallway. Shatter and Nano. Those are the only 2 ults you needed, because you had 2 picks. You had the Lucio and the Rhine dead, and then your D.Va bombed, and then you decided to go all the way to their spawn, which you don't need to do, because they have spawn advantage and they'll murder you. And then you then pop trans, because stupid. But yeah, so we need to conserve our ults more. Where was our team during that whole engagement? I'm actually curious. Alright, I'm gonna go back just like a little bit. Gonna make you feel better. Alright. So let's see. We're swinging, we get Nano. I'm curious because you just weren't getting any sustain. Oh, Genji harassed. And Ana couldn't kill. Ana got zoned and is going into a terrible position. I was just curious because I felt like we weren't getting enough healing at all. That kind of makes sense, I guess. So, alright, and now they have point.
This is not over.
They should. Shatter. That's good, Deadeye. Alright, so if we would have charged a little bit earlier, we could have gotten that Reinhardt. Just be quicker on that charge so that the bomb gets value. But I don't know, this is a winnable fight. It's winnable, we should swing around. Where's heals? Where's Ana? Dead. Okay. Honestly, I don't know, it's long, small. Supporting. Good. Sparking the rest up. I don't know, this is kind of just a mess. Like, I can't really say anything off of this because it's literally just people. It's a stall fight. It's not going to be clean. It's not going to be set up. It's just going to be you guys like doing your own thing. Like, why do we have a soldier? What the hell? Okay. I guess we can just small this is kind of just messing with using ults, and there you go. You got it. Nice. That should be an easy one. Alright, cool. So, you won first point. However, the reason they got up to 99%, the main issues, honestly, was not necessarily your mechanics on Rein, it's just your game sense and the ult economy of your team overall. So, if you're burning... It was especially bad in that one team fight, right? If you're burning, like, Shatter, Trans, Nano, and Bomb in one fight, and the enemy team doesn't use, like, any ults, then you're gonna be cleaned out of anything. And they're just going to roll you the next fight. And this is gold, so they might just, like, burn all their ults instantly, you know? But they might also conserve them and be smart, and then only use, like, 2, because you have nothing really to counter. Because, you know, Trans is your defensible. That's a very aggressive charge. Alright, you don't need to charge straight into the enemy team on this. Okay, it's working. We could have been a little bit more passive. It's just a safer play, because McCree could have flashbanged us. He didn't. But just be a little bit wary. You don't necessarily need to charge in right away. You could have stayed with your team a little bit longer, and then either waited for the Rein to get a little bit out of position, or just counter-charged him and killed him. I mean, it worked out for you, so good job. It's just, if the McCree plays a little bit better and has smarter positioning, then he would have flashbanged you. So, it's a bit risky. And yeah, they'll clean you out. It's fine. That's fine. I mean, we got 2 people picked in that opening team fight, so it was kind of just a matter of time. They just had to get their team together. Alright. So... Okay, you get Nano, we can be a little bit more aggressive. Once again, I mean... Okay, you can't... Okay, that's kind of just a little bit brain dead. Don't charge off the map. But, alright, so if you're gonna counter-charge Rein right, you need to be quicker on the counter-charges, okay? Because this Rein keeps on getting pinned on you when he shouldn't. He's close to you, yes, you need fast reaction time, but it's still possible for you to get that counter-charge off. So we really need to be getting that off quicker. We need to be ready to pound that shift. Just fucking break that key, okay? Because, like, we need to be ready for this, Reinhardt. This is good blocks. I really like your blocks on, Reinhardt's shadows. Like, not many gold Reins, plat Reins, or even sometimes diamond Reins can do that. Like, consistent. I mean, every Reinhardt is like block the shadow, but like, not many of them, especially in the lower ranks, can do it consistently. So you definitely set on that. It's gonna be very good. Also, tracking him and knowing when he has shatter is very important. And you seem to have been doing that very well. This is very aggressive. There's no reason for us to play this aggressive. Just let them regroup. We can pound some fire strikes in, but don't push all the way up to them. They have a McCree. That McCree, all he's got to do is pop a flashbang above your shield and you're screwed. Right. That was a big sleep. Good zoning of the McCree also. Here's where we can be aggressive. Do not charge him. There we go. Right, just swing on him. This is good. Yeah. So with McCree, it's it's kind of hard to predict when he's going to flash, but he does have patterns, and it is a lot more predictable in the lower ranks. I know you're paying attention to a lot of other things, but when you see McCree, right, you can, all you gotta do is literally just, like, flick your shield up, and you'll block his flash, because that's the only way he can flash you, is by flicking his flashbang up above your shield. Now, in higher ranks, McCree's will predict that, and they'll wait for that, and there's no reason to charge there. I don't know why we Alright. I think you were trying to charge Zarya back there, but we could have just swung on her and it would have been fine. But anyways, with McCree, so McCree, right, in the lower ranks, all you gotta do is flick your shield up normally when he's close, if you know he has flashbang still, and he'll normally use it. Because he's normally very eager to get it off the second that he sees you. In the higher ranks, they'll wait for that, so you'll have to adapt to that, because they'll just, wait for you to flick your shield up, and then they'll flashbang you under your shield. So you gotta kind of be ready for that, and be ready to play mind games in higher ranks, but in lower ranks, like Gold, Platinum, really all you need to do is just flick your shield up when a McCree's close, right? And you'll block it. For console players, I don't typically like to tell you how to play with your sensitivity on Rein, but if you can't flick your shield and block things very quickly, then you need to turn your sensitivity up. If you're already at 100 and 100 and it's not working, start lowering your aim smoothing. It'll make it even faster. You know, just get it as high as possible, because also there's this thing with Reinhardt where so melees are delayed, right? So actually, I'm gonna show you guys this. So melees are delayed on every character, and they're delayed even more on Reinhardt. So let's take a hero like Tracer, right? So if I melee here, it's delayed, you see? Or what? If you flick it, right? And you're at the end of the animation, if you're at the end of the animation, then you still get the damage on. So that's why a higher sensitivity can be very important for Rein. See, I'm swinging before and then I'm just flicking it. So when you get on somebody like Rein, where is he? There we go. Right. So when you get on somebody like Rein, you got that delayed, right? Right? So, the higher the sensitivity, the better. For PC players, you normally have your sens high enough that you can kind of flick, like, 360-degree turn, right? So, you're normally fine. But, you know, with console players, sometimes it's a little bit harder, so you kind of just have to make your sens as crazily high as possible. But anyways, so your main issues with Reinhardt is, basically your ult economy, right? And that's not necessarily your fault, but you are the main tank, so you're typically the main shot caller, unless, well, I mean, this gets a little in-depth, but basically, you're typically the main shot caller, unless, say, like, a Zarya gets more high charge than you. Typically, the main tank's the shot caller, unless, they're unable to shot call, or there's somebody with higher damage output, in the game that is, you know, actively having higher damage output. So like, let's say there's a high charge Zarya, she would become the main shot caller because she has the highest damage output, and therefore she can designate targets because she's going to kill them the quickest, right? So you want her to be leading because you want her damage on the selected target no matter what. So but typically you're the main shot caller, right? So you should be in team chat the majority of games, if not all games, and you should be telling your team, you know, how to run the ult economy and stuff like that. And they're not always going to listen to you. Not everybody's always going to be in team chat, and that's okay. You'll lose games because of it. It's not the end of the world. But overall, it will be better than not being in team chat, especially as a main tank. Like, as a DPS, right? If you have the game sense and everything, you can get away with not being in team chat. As long as you know, are you're smart enough to combo when you need to. But as a main tank, you kind of are the structure and the backbone of the team, and you keep the team held together. So you want to make sure you're in team chat telling everybody not necessarily what to do, but kind of guiding them in the right direction and helping everybody out. Overall, your tank play wasn't that bad. honestly, the main issues I saw was, A, you're not countercharging the Ryan. I don't think you countercharged him a single time. And if you do try to countercharge, it's normally way too late. And normally it just charges you majorly out of position, away from the team fight, away from your team, and your team dies. Or you charge off the map. I think you charged off the map once or twice. But if you didn't, and you still got away and lived, you would charge away from your team, and they would all die because you're not there to help them. Because you're their main tank, right? So we need to be thinking about our team more. Don't just charge off like a crazy person after you get charged. Especially if your team's there supporting you. Like, let's say Anna's putting nade into you and stuff like that. She's already invested a lot of resources, so don't just leave her in the dust. You'll live if she's investing resources, and you're not getting focused too hard. So, yeah, countercharge. Make sure you're comboing ults consistently. You were kind of fine because you got big shatters, and they normally ended up with you winning the team fight. But normally you get nano late. Alright, so anyways, when you are using your ult, right? If you have any possible combos, then we want to use those combos, because combos will get you to higher ranks very quickly. Because what's better than a shatter? A Bob knocking the Rhine up and then you shattering, because the Reinhardt won't be able to block your shatter and the team won't be able to do anything, right? A shatter always has a chance of being blocked. There's a lot of things that can block it. Mei can block it. Zarya can block it. Reinhardt can block it. Just about everybody with the shield in the game can block it. However, if Bob goes in, right, and he knocks everybody up, and then you shatter while they're in the air, as long as they're not too far up in the air, right, they still get that stun effect, and they'll still get knocked on their asses. So, if you're knocking everybody up, and then Reinhardt slams, or if the Bob's knocking everybody up and then you slam, you're still going to shatter everybody, and it's going to be a team shatter, and you won't have to worry. So, just look to combo whenever you can. You had an Ashe on your team, and you never did that. So I was kind of disappointed, but, you know, just try and do that in the future. It'll help you out immensely, and just be in team chat. Yeah, so you guys, sorry there hasn't been an upload in a while. I know I uploaded a montage, but I know I haven't been doing any of these Overwatch coaching videos for a while, so I'm going to try and start getting these out more often. But yeah, peace guys.